I think we live now. I'm trying to make sure it's live all the way. Let me make sure. Because it's not saying it. I said live on Facebook. Let me see. Okay. I'm trying to make sure. All right, there we go. Go live.
Oh, there you go. I got the little live thing popped up.
Okay, I'm like, it's okay. Is it live? That's what I was saying. Okay. Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Lashay's Venture Podcast. I have a special guest here with me. I'm gonna let him go ahead and introduce himself.
First of all, before I get into me, I just want to give you your flowers. Thank you so much for having me on your platform. I'm a big fan of the Lachey Venture Podcast. And, we have been trying to talk and get this thing coordinated for quite some time now. I'm glad we finally made it happen. For all your viewers out there, I am DJ Newmark, the legendary Throwback King. I am a radio and media personality, an actor, a streetwear brand proprietor. I am currently the DJ of the Grammy nominated platinum selling group, the Funky Bunch, back in the 90s, known as Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch. I got a 40-year career in entertainment, shared the stage with people like DMX, TLC, and the list goes on and on and on. So I'm happy to be here, and let's get to know each other.
Yes, thank you so much for introducing yourself, and thank you for giving me my flowers. I appreciate that a lot. I appreciate that a lot.
Absolutely.
So, what inspired you to pursue your music career, like in entertainment?
Well, as you can see with my hat, it says Generation X. So uh, by me being 55 years old, I basically was raised with hip hop. So as
Mhm.
the culture of hip hop started to spread into this global phenomenon, I was there from the beginning. And so obviously the different type of music captivated me. Now I come from a very musical inclined background. My father was really into that Motown sound, and so my house was always filled with music. But again, as I started getting older and as hip hop started to saturate out of the streets of New York into the rest of the country, um, it just called me. And initially, as the culture was getting developed, I tried to rap, couldn't memorize stuff. To this day, I can't memorize stuff, so can't be a rapper. Then I wanted to, I guess be a dancer because I was part of the culture. I started to dance, but then, MC started taking all the shine, and I'm in the back, and I'm like, I don't want to be in the back. So I was like, man, what can I do? And so my father, as I said, was very musically inclined, so he had a lot of equipment, house stuff. But I started taking that house stuff, and one thing about DJs is that it takes equipment, obviously, and not
Mhm.
everybody has equipment, so that's why there are more rappers and dancers than DJs. So I was like, all right, you know what? I think that's how I'm gonna, make my way through. I'm gonna start using this equipment, and next thing you know, I started becoming really popular in all the different places that we lived. My father was in the military, so we moved around every
Oh,
three
y'all moved
years
around
or
a
so,
lot.
a lot, which was the total
Yes.
blessing. Which was the total blessing. It was hard for me to appreciate it at the time because when you don't have that childhood or that anchor from a particular city or whatever, you don't really have an identity per se. Everybody
Mhm.
always wants to say, where you from. So I can't really answer that even to this day. I'm a conglomerate of all the different places where I've been to, but I'll get into that later. So, what got me to be a DJ was that the supply and demand. You know what I'm saying? I had to figure out
That's
as a
different.
businessman,
That's
I had to
different.
figure out, yeah, how can I get
Yeah.
in? Where can I fit in at? So that
Yeah.
that's what did it. I really don't wanted to be a rapper. That was the initial part of the culture that I was drawn to.
But DJing is cool though. Like It's different. You get to meet different people. I mean, it's still in that era. Even though you're not rapping, you still DJing. You get to meet a lot of people. Look at Salt and Pepper, Salt and Pepper, DJ.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Spinderella.
yeah. Like she got to meet a lot of people, and they kind of like put her in as the group.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, and that's another part of the downside of my story. Spinderella, she grew up in New York with those people with Salt and Pepper and all the other people that are from the block and from that city. So everyone knew that she was a DJ. So when, they were blowing up, they automatically thought of her and they put her on. I didn't have that connection, like I said, so I never was officially attached to a group or entity. So I always was DJ Newmark solo dolo until most recently when I got with the Funky Bunch. But again, being a DJ in its infancy of hip hop, the DJ's role was very, very important. Matter of fact, for the historians of hip hop, they know that it all started with the DJ. So I was
Hmm.
coming in when the DJs was the most important. In today's world, it's not. It's about MCs.
It's
Matter of fact, there's
not
a lot of MCs that don't even have DJs. So
that part.
yeah,
It's a
yeah,
lot that has changed. You don't really see like them really opening up for the DJs no more. It's more about just dog. I say dog eat dog because everybody for themselves. So it's like you rapping, but you don't have no DJ. A lot of times you don't have a lot. You don't have no DJ. It's
that's true.
more of the time you get on the stage, you do what you're doing, and that's it. Yeah, it don't
That's true.
y'all don't get the shout outs that y'all used to get back in the day from
Nah,
before the
nah.
80s, like One
Technology.
DMC and all them. They don't have no more of those. Not in 2026.
Nah, and I'll tell you another element of hip hop, which is the dance. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you don't see artists nowadays in 2026 that have dances.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's
That's
all a
true.
part of. I think that's all a part of. And I don't want to go too far because I know we'll probably get there. But just
Just
real
go.
quickly,
Go ahead.
that's part of the era that I represent, the
Mm-hmm.
90s, the late 80s, 90s, and maybe a little bit of the 2000s. It started to
2000.
change in the 2000s, but
A lot.
you had all the elements of hip hop basically represented in every act. You had the
Yes.
music, you had the style, the dress, you
Yes.
had the dancing. A lot of rappers even danced. If you look at some of those artists from back then, from Big Daddy Kane, LL Cool J, like all of them, Run DMC, they didn't
They
really
did
dance.
dance. That's why I say like Run DMC. Everybody know them. Like what? Like they was the original makers like of the hip hop. Like they made it. They made you want to tune in.
Right.
This right
Absolutely.
here. This right here. Mm-mm. It's not like that. It's like okay, I'm on the mic. I'm gonna say a few rhymes. I'm gonna call a B word. I'm gonna do this, and that's music. Nah, that ain't how I go. It's nothing. Nothing is like that. The original '80s and '90s. Like that was the the jam. And I'm young, but I have an old soul, so I listen to like a lot of old school.
I would invite your listeners that are tuning in now or even later to leave a comment about how they feel the '90s was. If you old enough to had lived the '90s, tap in, weigh in, let us know if you agree with me or not.
I think so. Y'all should tap in about that. That's one thing I like to hear y'all tap in. Like it be people coming in on there, but it don't be a lot. But in this kind of situation, I definitely '90s, '80s. Come on, y'all. Y'all know this new generation ain't nothing like back in the day. You can actually vibe to it. You can still get in your car and cut on some YouTube and cut on some '80s and you can jam at '90s because it was like kick off your shoes and relax your feet. The
Escape. There you
escape.
go.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like now it's like, what we doing? Like, okay. No knocking the music now, but it's like everything is the same.
Hmm.
It's not about sex, it's about money. It's everything the same. Not saying back in the day they didn't have that kind of music, but you had the music where you can jam, y'all can talk about sex, love, romantic. So you can't do that no more. Mm-mm.
No,
It's not the same.
no. especially with R&B. R&B, um, the biggest problem with today's music is that there's no maturity, in my opinion.
It's
Um,
not.
in the in the 80s, 90s, early 2000s, you still had artists that were in their 40s charting. Nowadays in R&B, I think if you 28, 30 years old, you aged out, you considered old. You know what I'm saying? So, it's going to be interesting to see how in 25 to 30 years from now, these artists of today are they selling out arenas? Because a lot of it is built on sex appeal. And when their
It
body
is. It
isn't
is.
looking like that 30 years from now, it's
How you
going to
gonna?
just be interesting.
That's my thing. How? What are you gonna do when the body goes? Because
Yeah,
once
we
you don't
never
have no
thought,
body, when you don't have no body, like I mean, come on, like, is it all
Lachey,
about
I,
the
I,
body?
I could tell you in the late 80s, we never thought in our wildest dreams as a 19, 20-year old that at 55 I could still be selling out arenas and perform in front of a crowd of 25,000 people. We never thought that. Never, never, never thought that. And I guess what makes that work is that we wasn't trying to do things that was a gimmick. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? And we
yeah.
were just speaking on
Real stuff.
community
Yeah,
issues,
real stuff.
whatever, and that's why we can still perform those today.
I
And like I
say,
said,
I
go
think
ahead.
that nowadays it's cap. You know, it's cap. Whatever's on social media, I'm a rap about.
Mm,
If I can call this woman a B word and get disrespect her, guess what? I'm a rap about it, and it's still gonna be a hit. I can say that I'ma steal some stuff, and it's a number one hit. No shade, no tea. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. I love the song. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying it's just the little things. You can rap about anything. You can say your clothes and fell off, and you got a hit. It's not the same. It's a big difference. It had back in the day. They had meanings to that music. They like
right,
okay, well y'all had Uncle Luke and all them. They was next too, but guess what? They had meaning to their music. A lot of this stuff they singing out, it ain't no meaning behind it. It's
right.
no it's no heart in it. Back in the day, they put heart into music. Nowadays, it's not the same. You can't vibe like that. You probably get one or two, three vibes out of it, and you probably get some artists that you have that you can vibe with. You know what I mean? It's still some that has old souls that are in the industry right now. It's just hard to find now. It's not the same.
Well, I tell a lot of young artists, part of my pleasure in giving back to the culture is going to a lot of these open mics and going to these local events where these younger artists are taking the stage. And I try to be that unk when they come off the stage and give them some gems. A lot of them don't really listen, but they kind of entertain the conversation because they don't want to be too disrespectful. But I think what a lot of artists don't really understand is that there's a difference between being popular and being successful.
Exactly.
And popularity is what I see out there now, where a song is, we went from music being 4, 5 minutes long to now this 90 seconds. That's a
That's
song, that's
it.
a whole song.
That's it.
And it's real gimmicky. And so I think they don't understand. They think popularity is success, but success means dollars. And all your
Exactly.
viewers and all your followers don't equate to dollars, you
Exactly.
know.
Exactly. Exactly. It's cap.
It's
It's a bunch
cat.
of cap. It's a bunch of cap. Whether you doing, if you notice, if you ain't doing one thing, you have to do another.
Mm-hmm.
So whether you got, regardless, you get on like Twitch, you gotta have subs. They on sub, guess what? You're not getting paid.
Mm.
You get on
Right.
TikTok, you gotta have subscribe. It's different ones you gotta do to make money. It's not like it used to be. It's easier. Don't get me wrong. Social media has made a big impact for to make money. You know what I'm saying? But people get on like this is their life.
Mm-hmm.
I like somebody said one time before when I was on live. What would y'all do? I think it was Giovanna. What would y'all do if it was none of this stuff? We didn't have no technology. Y'all wouldn't even know how to live. Yeah,
You
when
know
I
what?
live. Just like when I had that pandemic and
Yeah,
not just yeah, with COVID, people had to start learning how to make money in different ways because guess what? We stuck in the house and we got a whole thing going on right now. You can't do nothing because we stuck in the house. So you had to make ways to make money, right?
right.
Goes back to when it flooded down here in Houston. No, we had the ice storm. That's what we had. People didn't even know how to boil water, like to get hot water and put. You know what I mean? People don't know how to do things like that now because this new generation, like what? What? My grandma had, back in the day, they had them what's them generators, so they still got them. So my grandma got a generator, you ain't got to worry about it. That's one person who house she gonna go to. You gonna know you gonna be warm, gonna have some food and stuff because she got a generator. They didn't
Uh-huh.
even know how to eat the packs at the military. They're like, what? That's food. Yes, that's called survival.
Right.
It's called survival, and it's crazy because our generation don't really know nothing about it because they got them so brainwashed with the phones. The stuff that's going on now with the parasites in the food, y'all just so scared. What? You better do like they did back in the day. Clean that stuff.
Yeah.
Baking soda.
Yeah.
Come on now. Y'all gotta know. You gotta know what to do. You gotta know how to do it. And that's what I say. A lot of them are not used to survival mode. So when things happen like flooding and ice storms and stuff like that, they don't know what to do. They get scared. Well, my
Mm-hmm.
phone can't charge, baby. Look, back in the day, they have all that, baby. You gonna know how to survive. But I think it's just because I was raised by my grandma, and I say I have an old soul because it's like at a certain point in your life, you gotta learn how to survive.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, time just rewinding. That's all it's doing. That's why I
I
say
agree.
it's not. It ain't like it used to be no more. And to have somebody like you to come and explain to the generation. Of course, some half of them not gonna listen, but it's good. It's words of wisdom. A lot of
Right.
us need that. You don't have people that still want to give you wisdom, and if you do have people to give you wisdom, you're blessed because it's not too many people out here that want to do that anymore. And
Well, a lot of that too, Lachey, is a representation of how our society has changed. I certainly believe that um, the how can I say this? Respect for authority, respect for elders is not the same now as it was back then, and a lot of it has to do with our laws when it comes to corporal punishment. So I come from a generation where you get your ass whooped, all
yep,
right? And depending on your neighborhood, your neighbor could even whoop your ass if they caught you doing some shit. And the schools, I was in fifth grade and I got a paddling. I remember that. My principal hooked my ass up. So now, being that we have legislation that really handcuffs parents from disciplinating their kids the right way, because they got to make a choice. Do I spank the shit out of my kids and teach them some ground core values, or um, and with that
hmm
jeopardize my livelihood because
exactly.
now kids, they go to school and all those faculty and staff, they are mandatory reporters. So they see
hmm
the slightest thing,
The
or their kids
bruises,
say, "My daddy whooped my ass." They have to report it. They're mandatory.
hmm
They have to report it. Now you got, local authorities all
CPS.
in your house and whatnot.
hmm
So a lot of parents are torn. A lot of parents say, "Well, I can't get no criminal record, for domestic violence."
hmm
And so they just let their kids do whatever. And then now, as adults, these are the kids that I'm talking to,
hmm
and they don't really respect authority because they haven't been forced to. And
hmm
so I think all of that is so represented in our culture, in our urban culture, from the way that we dress, sagging all along, to the music,
Whew.
to
Man,
everything, to everything. And
man.
so, I just think it's, I think, we're talking about music and we're talking about how things are different, but it's the when you peel the onion back, it's a social issue. And it
With
all stems down to how our government, whether it's state, local, or federal, wants to um, wants to dictate at the end of the day
life.
the fundamental family value,
Hmm.
especially as it relates to the urban community.
Yeah. Always, always. I feel like that's why so many broken homes because in the urban community because they all in a system. They all in a system. I it's like a them if I do, them if I don't. Because
Absolutely.
I can do right, you know what I'm saying, and get these opportunities. But if I get some the slightest thing on my background, I'm a felon, and that's
You
it.
done. You done. That's it. Yep.
Because it's like you're not done, you know what I'm saying? But you have to find other ways. And it's like very hard out here as a felony. You know, a lot of them truck drivers. That's probably about the best thing, you know what I'm saying? Or they speak, they speak of whatever relationship context people like that, you know what I'm saying? Not saying that you can't get it. But in the America that we live in, what are they doing? On the street hustling. Because guess what? They gotta make sure their kids eat. They gotta make sure their family straight. They
Yeah.
gotta do it. They gotta
And
do it.
that's why I say they done. I hear what you're saying, and I'm not necessarily disagreeing with that.
But
But
they
for all
done.
practical purposes, you've done.
Yeah.
And I have so many friends and acquaintances who put family first and
Hmm.
got penalized,
Man.
and it altered their lifestyle, it's really a shame because the man, see, I'm about to go into some other stuff,
You
but
good. You good.
it's just the fact that we have to figure out as a nation, we've got to figure out, and it's getting more and more progressive by the minute.
Man.
And by you living in the
Worse.
great state of Texas, I'm sure you understand what I'm talking about. Being I'm in Florida, our two states think a lot alike,
Woo.
and it's just getting worse. And so it's kind of scary, and our music and our culture and our influence is going right along with the times. It's changing.
Definitely. Like I say, it's not. I don't think that people are trying to encourage it. I think they trying to make them, be like, all right, let me just find something to vibe to. But you gotta understand, sometimes, like somebody said as well, everything that they hearing, seeing, doing, you can't even cut on the TV and cut on the cartoon and not see a gay person.
That point,
You can't even cut on the cartoon, not even see nobody having sex. Cartoons. Do you hear me? Cartoons. It's not no Nickelodeon. It ain't no Nickelodeon, no Rugrats and all that no more. No, baby. You can't even watch the TV screen no more. Like, come on now. You can't even like you what? They doing what? Huh? What? No. It's different. We live in a time this generation just didn't change, but at the end of the day, we live in our days.
and
And
now with these cell phones, you know what I'm saying? There are so
whew,
many, I was on a platform that me and you both post on, and a commercial or ad came over my phone that was pornographic. And I couldn't believe it because I'm on a platform
doesn't
that
matter.
you're not expecting to see that. And so had I gave my phone to, a little child because they were watching a old school version of Rats, and this thing come through there, this ad, like what is that doing? So
Poison,
yeah, yeah,
poison, poison.
you're
It's
right.
basically poison. And that's the point of that's the whole point of it. They want them poisoned. They want them their minds gone. This generation is different. Like you literally gotta make sure you praying over everybody that you're connected to because there's so much going on. If your eyes are not woke in these last days, you will be left behind. But you gotta stay woke. That's why so many people like you, like that help people. Like you get a handful of people that want to help the new school. But when you
Hmm.
do find people like that's like Big Brothers. How they used to have Big Brother program. You don't better see that no more. You don't see the
Nah.
you don't see the mentorship out here no more. You don't really hardly see that. It's like back in the day they had the dad program, all this stuff. They don't have all that in school no more. They
Right.
don't have
Nope.
that.
Yep.
They don't have all that. It's not nothing that's gonna benefit the children anymore. Really, even with the history, like it's a lot that's been taken out the books. Quote unquote, because that's not what's supposed to be in there. But quote unquote, that's where they came from.
Right.
It's like they hide everything. Like they want you to be with a mask over your face. And if
And
you're
and
not
that's part.
paying attention, you will have a mask.
And that's the beauty, Lachey, of the music and the era that I represent, because it takes you back to a nostalgia. It takes you back to a time and a place where all these things that we've been talking about for the last several minutes wasn't. It existed, but it wasn't in the forefront. It wasn't in the limelight. It wasn't celebrated the way that it is now. So let's take this conversation back. Let's go back. Let's
How,
keep talking about back
how do
then,
you
man.
how do you like balance it now? Like how do you feel going out? Like you said, I know you kind of get like a little backlash, but how do you balance that out? Like when you go on and you talking to the new generation, because of Generation X, how do you how does it go? Like do it really be a lot of backlash, or how do you feel like just getting up there, telling them different generations and about different things, how things used to be to now?
Yeah, I can't say that I experienced direct backlash, but nonverbal and body language to me means everything. I can read when a person's truly attentive or truly trying to seek understanding versus they may not be saying nothing, but they looking around, they fidgeting, they on their phone, and I'm trying to have a conversation with you. It just lets me know that okay, you not really trying to connect where I'm trying to take you, and that's fine
Have you
because
had some that wanted to do, like actually wanted to know the history? They actually came back to you and were like, let me know something. Can you teach me something about it?
yes, I have, but I can say that that's not the majority.
Wow.
Again, I try to go to as many local musical showcases and events and of that nature, but the uphill battle is that they can go on their phone and see people who made it that not implementing anything that I'm saying.
Wow.
So for them, they're like, well, I hear what you're saying, OG,
Mhm.
but these people got 3 million views, you know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And they're not doing what you're saying.
Mhm.
So, you know, I really I'm trying to go this way. I'm trying to go to where they at.
Mhm.
And that's the position. And I don't really have no rebuttal because they're right. They're
Yeah.
right. If that's where they're trying to go with it, then
Mhm.
yeah. So there's I can't say backlash, but again, there's some out there that do want the mentorship, but at the end of the day, they're gonna do what they're gonna do.
Mhm. It's always like that. It's up for them to learn though, cause like at the end of the day, you can have this amount of views, but people still ain't really just into it. They just really going to be nosy. Some of them just going to be nosy to see what you got going on, and they ain't gonna reshare it. They ain't gonna repost it. It's a lot of people that don't reshare repost. They're just going on to see what you got going on. And if they feel like you popular, what they gonna do? Hit that follow button. That's all they gonna do. That's usually how it goes. Nobody try to get to know actually where you came from, and that's
Yeah,
that's that's the deepest thing to me, for you to know where you came from, know your roots, and know exactly what you got ahead to look forward to, because this ain't gonna be forever. This ain't gonna be forever.
and that's my thing. Like with the social media game, and I have to tell promoters this all the time because whenever I'm trying to get booked for an event, one of the things that especially younger promoters want to know is they want to see my analytics. They'll
Hmm.
pull up all my stuff and go, okay, you got about 300,000 followers across all of the social media platforms. Would you mind sending us your engagement rate on this platform, that platform, whatever? And I do it. And one of the things that it always comes back is that it's low. My ratio of engagement is low. And I've even had one promoter insinuate that maybe I got fake followers, fake bots, or whatever. But the thing about it is, what I try to explain to them is number one, no, I ain't got fake bots. However, I might as well, because if I got people following me that's not engaging, then they're just as useless or
As
effective, however you
everybody
want to look at it,
else.
as a bot, right?
Yeah.
But what I do tell them is this: for me, for somebody who's been in the game as long as I have, and although I am not a household name,
Mm-hmm.
for someone that's not a household name, how is it that let's not look at how many people are following me. Let's
Yeah.
look at who is
That's
following me.
following me. That part.
How is it that I got a list long of people that are following me that are
Mm-hmm.
in the millions as far as people that are following them, and they
Exactly.
only follow a 0.2%
Mm-hmm.
back? So if I'm not a household name or I rely on bots, how do I have people like Shaquille O'Neal, who has
Mm-hmm.
more followers than the previous president of the United States,
Mm-hmm.
and he's only following a fraction? How is he following me? How
Mm-hmm.
is French Montana,
Yep.
who has more than Shaq and
Mm-hmm.
following less than Shaq, but he's
Yeah.
following DJ Newmark?
That
Like,
part.
and the list goes on and on and on. So I try to tell, and it's not a flex, but I try to
Yeah.
tell these promoters, you can't go by these analytics and try to paint the picture on someone's worthiness. You know
That
what I'm
part.
saying? And so, being that we're talking about social media, it's like it's crazy that people try to chase the numbers versus the quality, or you know what I'm saying, of who is following you, not how
Quantity
many.
of a quality that don't even work. They don't even go for that no more.
There
It's
you
all
go.
about, okay, if you got this amount of followers, okay, you good. But like you say, is look who follows me. Have you ever looked into see who actually follows me?
Mm-hmm.
Look at the
Yeah.
people who's following me. I'm engaging. As you can see, I'm engaging. But these people got millions of followers and they following me. So obviously I'm doing something right. It's not about the analytics. I'm doing something right because these people follow me. They got millions of followers. What they following me for? Because I'm telling,
Correct.
I'm doing something
Correct.
right. Yeah. And I don't think nobody understands that. It's like with that, that's how it is. That's how they pay you too on social media. Your
Mm-hmm.
analytics. What's going on?
Yep.
Have y'all really looking to see who follow me? Do
The
your
answer is no.
research. Yeah,
Yep.
no.
They ain't trying
Do
to
your
do that.
research. Do your research. Because if you really did your research on me, I'm supposed to get paid as much as they getting paid. Probably more.
I'm
Because
like,
that's
you
really
trying
how
to
it
make
goes. That's
you
how
you
it
trying to
goes like that. And I
you
hate
trying to
that.
make you trying to make me explain to you why the algorithm is only shooting my content to point whatever of my
Exactly.
300,000 followers. I can't tell you that. I don't know why. You know what
Exactly.
I'm saying? But
I can't tell you why they repost and reshare. The ones that do it, I can't tell you that. I don't know why they do it. They obviously I'm doing something right though. Probably not on y'all analytics, but on my side, I'm doing something right because these people got over 300 something followers, like more than, you know what I mean, more than me. And they watching me and they resharing me. So maybe y'all should sit back and watch what I'm doing.
I mean, I get it, with modern technology and all this AI stuff, and you get all
Mm-hmm.
these bots and all that. Like, I get it. You do
Mm-hmm.
have to have some type of control measure to try to decipher. But with that being said, to our previous point, all right, if you feel that DJ Newmark, you want to book DJ Newmark for this festival in Switzerland, but you gotta tell your sponsors how are we going to justify bringing DJ Newmark when his engagement rate is below average? Well,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying? Continue the conversation to your sponsors and say, well, he has this person, this person, this person, this person. It's like, how? If he's not a entity in the world of entertainment,
Mm-hmm.
then are you saying that this genuine account is fake? You saying that this, BBD is fake?
Yes.
This Wu Tang clan is fake? Like,
Yes.
something's gotta give. Are
Some gotta
you
give.
saying
Some
all
gotta
these
add
people
up.
fake? So
Some gotta
yeah.
add up. If 1 plus 1 ain't two, it ain't add up. The math ain't mathing. Like you really gotta look at the people who following the person and actually like being in tune and resharing the person things. For me, it's like I feel like they don't look into that at all. It's more
No, they
about
don't.
okay, well this person, like you said, this person got this amount, but go into detail. Let me explain to you. Okay, well look, this person following them, this person sharing them, they doing something right because they following, they sharing, and they reposting, and this person got way more views than this person. You know what I'm saying? And I just feel like you said, it's I get it. It's for the analytics. I get y'all have to do that. You know what I'm saying? I understand it. I get that. Don't get me wrong. I get that. But look at the person that I am. Look at the people that's following me. Acknowledge that. Acknowledge the people that's resharing my posts. Expand it to them. It's somebody, look, this person doing this. That's my thing. Nobody goes into logical thinking anymore. Nobody gets intrigued with trying to, actually trying to put something positive out there. It's more of, oh, let me put this negative out there. Or if
Yeah,
I'm saying
and then
something that's positive, y'all don't want to hear it. So let me go to this negative person. Let me go to this person over here got this BBL. Let me go to this person over here that's shaking a tail. Like that's just what it is now.
that is.
That's the big of social media. That's it. If you ain't doing that, you ain't popping. Or you gotta know somebody. And then when they
Yeah,
reshare and repost, that's how it goes. That's
yeah,
how it goes. It you gotta know how to do it. And it's crazy that you have to do that, but you mean I guess it's a part of that. That's what their definition of success is now.
that's the business.
It, it kills me. I don't get it. I don't get it. And it's like, you can people don't even do it because they love it no more. People do it just to be seen.
Yeah,
That's a difference. A big difference.
and that's what I not only go by that rule for myself, but and I use your platform, perfect example. You know, if I was that person that just wanted to look at how many views you had or how many subscribers, that
Mhm.
wouldn't be fair without actually looking at your content, which I did. I looked at your episodes and I looked at how you were engaging with your guests and how you narrated through the different topics of discussion. And to me, that ebb and flow and that professionalism is more than how many people, like I hope now with me bringing, to your platform, I hope we can get some of them numbers up, but that wasn't the standard of what I looked at to see if I
No.
wanted to be a guest and want to accept your invite. So
Yeah.
that's why I'm happy to be here. It's an honor to be here.
Yeah, I for me, I just like I said, I'm real and authentic, and I like to just like talk about real things. Like the real is just not so negative these days. And I've had people to tell me or inbox me be like, "Thank you for just actually having a conversation with me." And
Hmm.
I'll be like, "You welcome," because you don't get to do that. People have asked me how long you stay on the interview. And get on the interview, we go longer because it's like you're really in tune with me. You really listening to what I'm saying. You really engaging into the conversation. That's that's how I feel like most people don't do it. They don't engage.
Mm,
It's not no more engagement. It's just okay, question, and that's it. You know,
mm,
it's not really engaging. How can you engage with if you're doing interviews? Why aren't you engaging with the person that you're interviewing?
right.
Instead of just asking question after question after question. Yeah, okay, cool, but let it flow.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Your questions are just a cue card. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
it.
So you're not trying to think of stuff. But, and again, I noticed that about you. And, I thought that was very authentic. And I'm like, yeah, I've been around, I've been on so many different platforms and I see quality. And that's why I'm
Thank
here.
Thank you so much. It means a lot. Thank you so much. It really does mean a lot. Coming from where I was to now, like I'm grateful. Like I'm very honored and grateful. To even like hear y'all conversations and talk about where y'all came from and different things and just talking like and just enjoying ourselves and having real conversation is the goal. Like I tell people all the time, authenticity is the best because if you do not have that, you're not gonna get nowhere. We already got enough fakeness with social media. We already got enough fakeness out there. We already
Right.
get told all this stuff. So instead of getting told so much negative, let's put something positive out there. That's why I say with your platform, I love the way you are because it's not too many people out there, like I said, no more doing that. You don't have that no more. You don't have the uncles, the big brothers. You don't have that no more because people not doing it. You don't have the mentorship. People not doing it. You probably find a slight handful that's doing it, and
Yeah, yeah.
they love to
It-
do.
it- you know what? It's not like my peers don't want to do it, but they know that it's not being received.
Exactly.
And that's why they don't do it. But it's not because they don't have a desire, man. We all want to share our knowledge and wisdom to anybody that's willing to listen. But I guess I'm the only one that's stubborn that I don't care if one person listen out of a whole room full. At least I can walk
Exactly.
away and say one person got it. And that's just how I roll. But
I think that's the goal to at least have one person to get the message. For me, that's what they always say in churches. That one person, if it's just us here and that one person get it, I know I did something right.
hmm
I know I did something right. Just one person getting it. I I know I did something right. So, but yeah. But this has been a great interview. It has been a great talk. Really been talking the majority of the time. So, but this has been awesome. Like this is great. Like I really enjoyed it. I because this is one of the conversations that everybody don't talk about. People don't talk about the culture no more.
Right.
So
Yeah. It's all about the culture for me. Like even I've been blessed to have a clothing line. I got a streetwear line that has I have a streetwear collection that has 7 lines. And
oh, I did share it on my page too. I did. I did.
okay, thank you.
I did.
Thank you.
I was
And
gonna
and
ask you about that. Like that was that was one of the questions I just kind of got off guard with this, but I like the conversation that we was having. So yeah,
yeah, and trust me, I got your address, so something's coming. You know what I mean? So I promise
okay,
you. I didn't collect all that information just for nothing. And for anybody that looks at my collection, you'll see that it's really culture based. Right now, I got something from my Generation X line, but I have stuff for the younger generation. I got stuff for anybody who believes in our culture and our music and our fashion. All of that stuff is combined into one of the 7 lines. So there's something for everybody, and I've been blessed that I've been having global support. I sold over 2,000 units in my first year. I just celebrated my 1 year anniversary in June. And as far as being a streetwear creator and proprietor, I am in 7 different stores in 3 states.
okay.
So, again, it's just all about the culture and
Let them
and
know where to find
accessibility.
you at on social media. Let them know where to find your pages and everything, so they can look it up.
Oh, for sure. DJ Newmark, DJ Newmark, just like you see on the screen there. Got my name right there underneath my ugly face. You can Google that and all my socials will come up. I would say that Instagram, if you actually want to talk to me personally, you want to connect with me personally, Instagram is the platform to do it. My social media team handles the other platforms. It's just way too many platforms out there. Um, but as a public figure, I have to be a presence on all of that, especially while it's free. And I definitely would encourage all the artists that may be listening or entrepreneurs in general. Forget the artists. If you're an entrepreneur and you don't have a profile on all these different platforms, shame on you because it's free. And that's going to change, by the way. There's a lot of legislation right now that's trying to
Oh yeah, they
change that.
changing it. Oh yeah, they
Yeah.
trying to change
So
a lot of people. They finna try to charge you for everything. Yeah, that. Yeah, let's put
correct.
that out there. Yeah, they trying to. You might have your account right now, but it ain't gonna be free soon.
Correct. So get out there, man. Get out there. And I just want to give a big shout out, man, to the Funky Bunch, HB, Scotty G, DJ T. Just real quickly, as I was talking about earlier, with me moving around throughout my life, I didn't have an opportunity to really get embedded with a particular city or a particular sound or a particular
Mhm.
group that came from a particular city. And so when I came to the group, they instantly appreciated, who I was and automatically knew that I could be a contributor. And we've been performing and we've been doing our thing, and it's just been a beautiful thing because when I was a DJ for these different acts throughout my career, I wasn't really a part of that. I was more like I always say it, a DJ prostitute. A
Wow.
artist needs a DJ for a particular show. Hey, Newmark, man, you want to come to St. Louis with me, rock this show? Yeah, I do it. And then after the show, I go back my way, they go back their way. And there was nothing tangible. But with the Funky Bunch, I'm actually like connected, and that is a feeling, man, that I've been longing for a very long time. So shout out to them for allowing me that experience.
Amen. That's a blessing. You don't get too many experiences like that. So yeah, shout out to them. Do you have any questions for me?
I don't have no questions, but I just want to comment, man. Keep rocking the natural. You know what I'm saying? Keep
Yeah,
rocking that
I did not want to
natural.
get on here with this natural hair. Like y'all see my background
Look,
covered up a little bit. Yeah, this a lot of hair.
look,
It's a lot to
look, I
do
get it. Everybody, has their own thing. Like they want to make sure I get it. But,
with.
since we talking about being authentic, the natural right there for a Nubian queen such as yourself, you can't get more authentic than that. And it's not nappy. Like we all can tell the difference between nappiness and natural. Like so you're not nappy, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So yeah, man, rock that, man. I like that.
All right. Thank you so much. Well, thank you so much for taking time out your day to come to interview with me, and I'm forever grateful. Thank you so so much, and just thank you for taking time out your day. Much love, and I hope you have a blessed night.
Thank you. Salute to you and all your people watching, man.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too. Good night.
Good night.